before. Lost and confused and thinking that you can't take anymore. No, 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 don't worry about nothing. Oh, it's all gonna be good. Oh, 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 you're really something now. Didn't you know that you could? No, 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 don't worry about nothing. Oh, it's all gonna be good. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about nothing, nothing now.
Safety often takes a backseat in our busy daily life, leading to unforeseen dangers. Thus, in this task, we explore the diverse significance of BSMH safety walkabouts and how these routine inspections go beyond compliance to become vital to the general wellness. In this video, we discovered 6 hazards in BSMH: environmental hazard, biological hazard, fall hazard, electrical hazard, fire hazard, and psychosocial hazard. We classify all of the risk assessment based on the color.
So based on our observations at BS and Mart, we found out that the first hazard in the cash handling area involved sitting on a chair but without a backrest. We found out that there is enough equipment for the workers, but since they have to deal with the same problems every single day, having enough equipment does not guarantee their safety or even their comfort. The chair's design itself makes this clear. You can see it in the picture with the woman seated on it. Naturally, of course, this could lead to poor posture and also back strain, right? Since it lacks of backrest to rest on, even though they are still given chairs to sit on rather than being forced to stand all day. So for the risk assessment, this hazard is categorized at level 4 of the low risk level, and it is represented by the green color. Therefore, it is crucial to encourage proper posture and also employee comfort during to extended sitting to reduce the risk. Now let's look at the image shown below. We can see that the chair is ergonomically designed for employees to sit on, especially for those who are working in the cash handling area, since it includes features like adjustable headrest, cushion-based seating, and a handrest that is comfortable for those who are working in the cash handling area. Moving on to the second hazard, we discovered that BS and Mart had improperly designed and disorganized storage spaces. Unstable shelving and display spaces may cause accidents and injury to the employees. We are all aware that employees restocking products requires repetitive motions from reaching and carrying heavy boxes that are positioned incorrectly. If the goods are positioned too high, workers will suffer serious injuries from the falling goods. Additionally, it falls under level 8, which is denoted by the color yellow and represents the medium risk level. To minimize bending or uncomfortable postures when obtaining goods, it is advised that employers implement well-organized shelving units with properly labeled stickers. This will enable systematic storage as demonstrated in the picture shown below. Furthermore, limited movement is the third hazard identified. It is challenging for the employees to navigate through small alleyways when 2 or more personnel are positioned in the same area. There is restricted movement activity. Their limited space makes it harder for them to move, which increases the risk of injury. It is possible to classify this hazard as medium, which is level 5 and color-coded in yellow. Therefore, employees can reduce the likelihood by expanding the store's aisles to ensure that there is adequate space for movement. Plus, consider putting up clear signage and procedures for emergencies. We now address the next hazard, which is a non-provided resting area for the employees. The limited spaces causes physical discomfort in addition to possible hygiene issues. The photo makes it clear that there are a lot of boxes and other items that should not be placed in the resting area. Aside from that, the effects include work fatigue and decreased employee productivity. Since the controlling action is only at a low risk level of 2, it is advised that employers should change the layout to allocate break space regions by enlarging the space. For instance, for the resting places, place couches in that area.
And next, I will present about another hazard in the BSN Mart, which is biological hazard. Number 1 is the wet and humid wall condition in the BSN Mart. Certain walls in the BSN Mart are in wet and humid condition due to the rainy weather. Then, that condition can lead to the fungal and bacterial growth because the surface has a suitable temperature for it to produce. As a result, it can make people in those areas are being exposed to the bad air circumstances. And this can be categorized as a medium risk level, which is 12, with likelihood 3 and severity 4, because the air condition at the wet wall in the BSN Mart might affect people's respiratory due to the bleed in the poor and bad air. However, to prevent this, workers can wipe the wall or always check the other wall condition to avoid the reproduction of bacteria and fungi in the BSN Mart. In addition, we also found that certain damaged ceiling in the BSN Mart have been replaced only with a former boxes. This situation can make a small animals get into the mart easily, this is not a good method because it can give space for other animals to enter and breed in the mart, like rat. We interpret this as a high risk level 16 with a 4 likelihood and 4 severity of risk assessment due to it can threaten people's safety. This said because animal can leave their excrement in the mart and sometimes it can be visible by accidental contact. For instance, leptospirosis is one of the diseases that are caused by rats from accidental contact with the carrier animal or environment that is contaminated with the leptospirus. Therefore, to address this, owner need to use the proper and high quality of material for the ceiling to prevent the animals from getting into the mart easily. And last but not least, unmanaged garbage dump area, also one of the hazard identification that we found in the BSN Mart. This is where this place is a dirt and the walls are mossy, which can lead to the bacterial growth. Overloaded trash in the rubbish bin with containers that hold water and food waste create a smelly and bad air for the people in those places. This situation also meant the flies can easily transmit the bacteria to everywhere. Furthermore, as for this condition, we consider this at a low risk level 3 with 3 likelihood and 1 severity, because this area are quite far from the people and people are rarely there unless they want to throw a rubbish. But this also has to be controlled through regular cleaning. Their workers can clean up the mossy wall and quickly throw the rubbish before it's overloaded to prevent the bacteria transmitted by the flies in that area to the people and also avoid the breeds of the mosquito in the containers as well. That's all about the biological hazard. I will pass this presentation to the next presenter.
Continuing with fall hazard, we have identified 2 activities in the BSN Mart that contribute to this hazard. Firstly, taking down goods from hanging shelf, which can lead to objects falling from above. Based on our observation, there are a lot of goods and used box stored on the hanging shelf until they become dense. So, whenever workers need to take the goods down, they need to climb a ladder because the shelf is quite high. Due to the unsafe act and dense arrangement of the goods on the hanging shelf, goods that want to be taken might fall on the workers. Even worse, the worker may fall from the ladder due to a failure to balance the body. Following that, risk assessment for this activity is categorized under medium level risk as the workers may fall from high place and the severity of the injury is also high because they will experience head injury and broken bones. To prevent this hazard from happening, employers can enhance administrative control by implementing task substitution, which change the process of work to be performed at ground level only. For instance, place all the goods and inventories at lower place so that workers can easily access it when needed. The second activity that leads to fall hazard is moving new stock into the mart. This is because uneven walkway surface can contribute to dangerous condition as workers may trip and fall while walking. Based on our observation, we found that the outside of the mart there was a piece of mosaic that had been damaged and caused the area to have hole. Because of this, workers may trip and fall while carrying and moving the goods into the mart because they cannot see the path. Following this situation, the risk assessment for this activity has been classified as low-level risk since the possibility of an accident is low due to the rare situation. The severity of the injury is also low as the worker may suffer physical injuries such as minor bleeding and bruising only. Improving administrative control such as performing periodic inspection of store facilities once or twice a month can prevent any accident from occurring. Changing the tiles is necessary if the level of damage is high.
Now, let's talk about the electrical hazard that might occur in BSN Mart. One of the hazards is electric shock. This situation happens when the electric current passes through our body. For your information, human bodies are natural conductor of electricity since we have tissue that contains water. Thus, when BSN Mart workers perform their task by sorting or arranging drinks and dessert into the chiller, their body are highly exposed to the live electricity outlet, where there will be sudden contact with a surface, handle, or any part of the chiller body. As a result, the worker will feel a slightly tingling sensation. Next, this hazard can be categorized as low risk level. This is because it's likely to be happen. However, since the voltage of current from live electricity is usually low, hence there is no physical injury. But even with this invisible injury, the worker must perform self-work practice. For example, they need to be cautious to prevent any contact with the electrical equipment by keep a safe distance. From our observation, there were spread wires used inside the mud that can lead to electric shock as there might be leakage of electric current. The worker who accidentally touched the wire with bare or wet hand while turning off the switch might be in danger since the current flow might be higher due to the leakage. The effect was shock and loose muscle control. This hazard can be categorized as medium risk level. Why? This is because the workers are easily exposed to the hazard since they have to do their routine. Plus, the injury is severe as the higher current voltage flow through the wires. As for that, BSN Mart management must take action by do a frequent inspection to identify any damaged wires or electrical equipment that's still being used by the workers. Then they have to replace all the defect equipments to prevent any unexpected situation happen in the future. Another type of electrical hazard that can occur in BSN Mart is arc flash. This is because on the rainy days, there are possibility that the water is dripping down from the rooftop, went through the damaged ceilings, and make the wires and cable under the ceiling exposed to wet condition. If the arc flash from the wires are making contacts with any flammable material, it can start fires in the store. This hazard has low likelihood as it can happen in rare situation, but it can cause extreme pain and severe burn. To prevent this, BS and Mart management are responsible to replace the damaged ceilings and ensure all the wires and cable inside the mart are being covered with cable sleeve.
Following the hazard that have been mentioned earlier, BSMH also has a fire hazard which caused by electric power steamers. This is because these cooking equipment are powered by heat, water and electricity. So first, a fire hazard can reach to a high risk level because the environment is out of control, endangering people and causing chaos in the market where the hazard can be life-threatening and the situation worsens as breathing in this gas can cause respiratory problems due to the fire and smoke inhalation from a short circuit. As Izati mentioned before in the electrical hazard part, leakage on freight wires might cause a short circuit if not managed properly, implying that this activity can also pose a fire hazard. Additionally, human error is possible. Accidents can occur because of insufficient usage, leaving power steamers unattended, or failing to observe safety instruction. Thus, employees will sustain injuries and become a source of fire. Therefore, risk control by doing regular maintenance inspection and ensuring adequate installation are important to ensure that the wiring is correctly functioning as well as discover potential problems early and quickly fix them. Not to forget by providing training to employees alongside the fast response on how to utilize electrical power steamers properly and display warning notice clearly. By doing this, the presence of electrical appliance will be known. Then, fire hazard also can lead to the medium risk level as an investigation will be necessary to determine the source of the fire and whether any safety standard were violated. This is due to the possibility that the appliance could burn nearby materials or components if it reached a temperature higher than what is intended. After that, the mart may face legal implication if it discovered that negligence harmed the mart's reputation, perhaps leading to a loss of customer trust and loyalty right away. This is because the continuous use over an extended periods will lead to overheat
heat on the electrical power steamers. To overcome this issue, store managers should install temperature monitoring system that automatically shut down electrical power steamers if they overheated. In the meantime, the manager should also allocate the duty of doing routine equipment inspection to a qualified technician who can assist in detecting and resolving any faults before they become fire hazard. Undoubtedly, periodic inspection to identify errors in all aspects can assist in avoiding minor issues in the future. Finally, fire hazard can lead to low risk level since the Mart may only be required to file insurance claims to cover property damage and liability claims, as they will most likely go through a rebuilding and recovery period, which may include renovation, inventory restocking and addressing safety issues. This means that its regular operation may be disrupted since it may be closed temporarily. This is because leaks or improper water treatment may end up in electric shocks when exposed to untidy wires and surrounding flammable items. Not to mention, inadequate ventilation in the cooking area will also trap heat and steam in the store. Following the problem, this issue can be overcome by doing safeguarded in keeping it away from water sources to avoid electric shocks. This means that the allocation must ensure that the area itself is dry and that there are no nearby water leaks. Other than that, proper ventilation should be implemented to evacuate steam and prevent heat accumulation. In this case, smoke detectors that generate a loud alarm whenever smoke is detected should be utilized. As an early warning system, the alarm sound will enable people to evacuate before the fire spreads.
Last but not least, we move to last hazard, which is psychosocial hazard. First and foremost is limited staffing. Observation at BSN Mart indicate a challenge with limited staffing, causing stress for workers since only one person is present at a time. With a small team, each employee may have to handle various tasks and responsibilities, leading to a heavier workload, increased stress, and a sense of being overwhelmed. Limited staffing means there is less flexibility in managing work schedules. Employees may face time pressure to complete tasks within a set time frame, which can contribute to stress and anxiety. The situation is labeled as a medium risk level 4, which might be deemed acceptable because tasks are assigned based on the Mart size. However, if the risk can be resolved swiftly, it's advisable to put in control measures. This is crucial because there's potential for workers to face high workloads and time pressure to complete assigned tasks. Therefore, contemplating the hire of additional staff could be beneficial to distribute tasks among the team, ultimately reducing stress for the workers. Next, handling challenging or irate customer. A lack of skill in handling customer can pose significant psychosocial hazard for employees. Dealing with challenging and irate customer become a major stressor, placing employees in a difficult situation where they must navigate the delicate balance between ensuring customer satisfaction and adhering to organizational policies. The pressure to resolve these issues to the customer contentment while following company guidelines create a constant source of stress. Employees may feel caught in the middle, trying to manage conflicting demands and expectations, leading to the heightened levels of stress and emotional strain. The potential harm is assessed as a medium risk level 8 because it demands a systematic effort to control it before accident happens. To address this, employers should offer ample support and training to workers so they can learn how to handle upset clients, considering that people react differently. This assistance will empower employees to effectively manage client interaction while adhering to organizational regulation. Last but not least is unpredictable scheduling. Irregular work schedules can cause mental and emotional challenges. When schedules are unpredictable, it becomes hard for workers to have a consistent sleep routine. Last-minute changes, especially with late night or early morning shift, can mess up the body's natural rhythm, leading to insufficient sleep. This lack of sleep can harm a person's overall health and make it difficult to do well at work. This is considered a low-risk situation level 2 because the chance of it happening is not very high and the potential harm is minimal. At this point, it seems like the risk is manageable and there might not be an immediate need for urgent action. However, employers should clearly explain scheduling rules and expectations about work hours, shift, and possible changes to control the situation. This includes guidelines on how employees can ask for time off, switch shift, or deal with unexpected schedule changes. For example, at BSN Mart, a scheduling policy gives employees a 2-week notice of their schedules and explain how they can request time off or swap shift. This kind of flexibility helps employees balance their work and personal life. In short, the safety walkabout at BSN Mart is crucial for finding and fixing possible dangers, showing they are proactive about safety. It's not just about keeping employees and customers safe, but it is also reveals different risks like economic and psychosocial issues. But spotting risk is only the first step. In order to keep things safe, they need to plan ahead and fix problems. The Safety Walkabout has started a strong safety culture at BSN Mart, where employees actively join in and openly talk about potential issues. This teamwork helps improve safety standards, making the Mart a trusted place that cares about customers. Keeping this commitment ensures a friendly and a safe workplace, making BSN Mart more resilient and respected in the market.
On your skin, keep your heartbeat beating. Go on, breathe in.